The TARN Conspiracy, written by Scott Clemons and J.P. Tirmizi. Episode 3. Audio file number 2.3, transcript of Brandon Jones and Sean O'Connor, October 13th, 2019. Deck Dominion Cards and Games, Township of Archangel, Washington State.
It's Thursday evening. I'm with Sean. We've just gotten some Chinese takeout from Mike's Noodle House. Now we're at Deck Dominions in the back storeroom to discuss the 3 interviews we've conducted thus far with Jesse Nuentes, Deputy Aaron Derlick, and Dave Young, as well as our examination of the crime scene in the woods.
Actually, before we start, I'd like to go on record as stating that your taste in restaurants makes me wish I'd never met you.
What? It's just Chinese.
Mike's Noodle House is to Chinese food what Taco Bell is to Mexican.
Can we just focus on the case, please?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were so emotionally invested in Mike's Noodle House, Brandon.
I'm just not in the mood, man.
Oh, sorry. I'll refrain from bagging on the quality of Mike's noodles.
Alright, how about we start on the audio from last night? What are your initial thoughts on what we saw and heard?
What is there to say?
Start with what you think happened.
I think we saw something weird.
That's it?
We saw a symbol carved into a tree, then we got chased by what was probably a bear. What am I supposed to say?
What about the blood?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, and I'm not totally sold on it being blood.
Are you kidding me? It was red. It smelled like blood.
That doesn't mean what we saw around the base of the tree was the source of the smell. It could very well have been some kind of mud or clay mixed with rainwater.
Rainwater that only fell around the one tree with the satanic symbol carved into it?
Neither of us has any idea what that symbol was.
What about the screaming? You said that you thought it sounded human.
Yeah, that was my initial thought, but I don't think we were thinking clearly at the time. Both of us were scared.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. You were there, man. You saw the same exact thing that I saw.
Okay, what do you think happened?
The scream was human. That much I know for sure.
What about the animal?
Cryptozoological for sure.
Please say you're not talking about Bigfoot.
First of all, Sasquatch would be a more accurate term than Bigfoot. But no, that's not what I'm talking about.
What then?
Like I told Dave, that area is pretty close to the TARN Special Projects compound.
So basically what we found was a blood-soaked tree in the same place where Bigfoot...
Sasquatch.
Fine. Near where Sasquatch decided to make a cameo in the middle of the night?
I know you're trying to make it sound unrealistic, but it's the truth.
Was it Sasquatch who carved that symbol into the tree?
I think we came across the remains of some type of occult ritual, possibly satanic, or some earlier primordial religion.
Satanic rituals aren't real, dude.
Have you ever heard of the Heaven's Gate cult?
I think we both know I haven't, Bran.
In 1997, 39 members of the Heaven's Gate cult in San Diego washed down phenobarbital with vodka and then put bags over their heads so they'd suffocate.
This conversation just took an unexpectedly dark turn.
They thought that there was an alien spaceship following a comet that was going to be passing near Earth, and that they had to commit suicide to get their souls onto the ship so that they could move on to the next level of consciousness or evolution or something. Obviously crazy, but that didn't stop all of them from killing themselves.
So you're saying that, what, there's a suicide cult in Archangel?
No, I'm just saying that the intellectual hurdle someone has to make to believe in Satan or Ahriman or any other adversarial deity is probably a lot shorter than you think.
Come on, man. You're smarter than believing that there are actual Satan worshippers out here in Archangel. Shit, this legit sounds like the setup for a shitty 80s movie.
That still doesn't rule out the possibility that the carving was genuine.
Sounds like you got a customer out there, partner. Better get out there and sling some dragons and dungeons.
It's called Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to annoy you.
It's probably someone just looking. I'm eating lunch back here, but if you need anything out of the cases, just yell for me.
I don't need anything out of the cases, but I do need to speak to you, Mr. Jones.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? Since when does anybody call you Mister?
Sooner rather than later, Mr. Jones.
Brennan, who is that out there?
Someone who shouldn't be here. Here, take the mic. We're going to want to record whatever she's here to say. I'm coming now, Sheriff. I have my associate Sean with me, too.
Sheriff? Like the sheriff? The sheriff? Dude, why is she even here?
I guess we ought to go and find out.
Mr. Jones? Mr. O'Connor? How are you two gentlemen doing today?
Oh, I didn't realize you knew me. I'm fine, thanks.
Sheriff Donovic 2.0. To what do we owe the pleasure?
You can just call me Sheriff, Mr. Jones.
But then how would I remind everyone that you got your job through blatant nepotism?
Being elected isn't nepotism, Mr. Jones.
Right. And I'm sure that your mom being sheriff for 20 years had nothing to do with all those campaign contributions you got from her buddies at TARN.
I'm not here to discuss my election, Mr. Jones. I'm here to talk about you.
By all means, go ahead. Talking about the corruption in the sheriff's department is a pretty tired subject anyway. You wouldn't mind if we keep recording, though. You caught us in the middle of something.
If you two want to record what I have to say, then that's fine. Maybe you could send me a copy once we're done, so that I can double-check your stories.
What do you mean, our stories, Sheriff? What's this about?
A missing persons case we're investigating.
I think you probably know a lot more about Thomas Novak than we do, Sheriff.
This isn't about Thomas Novak.
I don't understand.
This morning, Mr. Michael Anderson reported his daughter, Madison Anderson, had gone missing.
What does that have to do with us?
You want to take that question, Mr. Jones? Or should I?
Bran, what is she talking about?
I haven't talked to Madison in weeks.
That's not what Dwayne Newson seems to think.
How would he know?
Dwayne is Madison's boyfriend.
He's not her boyfriend. They broke up months ago.
I thought you said you hadn't talked to her in weeks.
I haven't, but I know enough about both of them to know she wouldn't get involved with them again. He's a scumbag.
Dwayne and his father have said worse about you.
Excuse me, Sheriff. Hello? Hey. Hey, man. Whoa. Slow down. Okay. Look, I'm in the middle of something right now. But let me call you back, okay? Okay. I will, right. Bye.
Everything okay, Mr. Jones?
Fine. Everything's fine.
Who was that on the phone?
A friend of mine.
It sounded like your friend was in some kind of trouble.
Did you have anything else you wanted to ask us, Sheriff? Or was that it?
Where were both of you last night?
Here.
Doing what?
Working on our podcast.
That your story too, Mr. O'Connor?
It's not a story, it's the truth.
I wasn't asking you.
Oh, yeah, no, we were here. We were definitely here.
There you go. So if you could just...
Prior to last night, did either of you have any contact with Madison?
I already told you. I haven't talked to her in weeks.
How about you, Mr. O'Connor?
Me? No, not at all.
You're both sure about that? Now is the time to come clean.
We are.
I'd like Mr. O'Connor to answer for himself. Thanks.
No, yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that's about it for me, gents. I appreciate your time, but I don't...
Wait, Sheriff. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
That's not really how this kind of thing goes, Mr. Jones.
Do you think Madison going missing is related to the recent disappearance of Thomas Novak?
I don't think there is anything else I'd like to say on the subject.
But, Sheriff...
Oh, and I'd appreciate it if the two of you wouldn't mind staying in the area for a while. Just until we get more of a bead on the case.
You mean like near here at Deck Dominion? Like the card shop?
No, Mr. O'Connor, I mean in Archangel.
Are we under arrest?
Why would you be under arrest?
If we're not under arrest, then you can't ask us to stay anywhere. You don't have reasonable suspicion that we have or that we plan to commit a crime, do you?
I'd say your personal history with Madison leads me to believe that you may have something to do with her being missing, Mr. Jones.
If that's all, then I'd appreciate you leaving, Sheriff.
You ever heard the saying that you get a lot more with honey than you do with vinegar?
Have you ever heard the saying, I'm calling my lawyer?
You don't have a lawyer.
True, but I'm guessing I won't have to look far to find one willing to sue you for police harassment, especially considering how bad things went when your mom tried to prosecute me. Now I'm asking you for the second time on tape to leave.
I'll be in touch, gentlemen.
Oh, holy tap dancing Christ.
Yeah, I think that about sums it up.
We just lied to a cop.
We didn't lie. We just didn't tell her the whole truth.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm just saying, we did work on the podcast. She didn't ask if we were in the woods.
Why does the sheriff even think you have something to do with this Madison person going missing?
Look, it's a long story, and I really don't want to get into it right now.
Oh, you don't want to get into it. You better fucking get into it, or I'm on the first plane to Dallas, you hear me?
I mean, technically, you can't be on the first plane to Dallas. The sheriff just told you not to leave town.
You think this is funny, dude? I get in trouble with the law, and I'm gonna get disbarred.
Look, I'm sorry, alright? I didn't mean to joke. It's just, the sheriff's accusations are so ridiculous that it's actually laughable.
Well, I mean, if it's laughable, then you won't mind explaining.
She used to come to the Friday night Magic the Gathering tournaments at the shop sometimes, but I barely talk to her.
Oh, right. Barely talk to her enough that her boyfriend hates you.
Okay, so one night after the game got started, her boyfriend Dwayne barges in. He's drunk and crying, begging to talk to Madison.
Why would he beg to talk to his girlfriend?
Apparently he cheated on her, and she'd broken up with him for it.
And
what? He was drunk.
And how do you fit into the story?
I kicked him out of my shop.
Oh yeah. You asked him nicely and he just left.
I might have had to physically remove him, but I didn't hit him. I just grabbed him by the back of his shirt and dragged him out the door.
Why didn't you just call the cops, dude?
I was trying to avoid getting the cops involved.
Why would you do that?
The kid was drunk, but he wasn't hurting anyone. I don't think he deserved to get a charge on his record for making an ass of himself.
So, wait, back up. If you didn't call the sheriff, then how does she know what happened?
The sheriff knows because that kid does understand when someone's doing him a favor.
He called the cops?
His dad. The kid tells his old man what happened in the shop. The dad doesn't like the idea of some game store nerd telling his boy what to do. The kid lies and tells the sheriff that I punched him. Madison backed up my story, but the damage was already done.
So the sheriff just believes the dad and the kid without any evidence.
The shithead's dad owns a bunch of the rental properties around town. He holds a lot of water in Archangel.
I get it. And you don't hold shit.
Exactly.
Dude, this is fucked. This is so completely fucked.
Nothing is fucked here, man. If the sheriff thought she could arrest us for something, then we'd already be in handcuffs.
See, that's the thing, Bran. I came here to help you, not to worry about the sheriff's gonna lock me up for disappearing some teenage girl. Okay. We just need to keep our heads under the radar. Once the cops do their thing, we can't give them a reason to come after us.
You're not getting it, man. The cops don't need a reason to come after us.
Wait. What are you saying?
I'm saying that the cops are going to do whatever TARN tells them to do. I mean, isn't it a weird coincidence that we start doing this podcast and then suddenly this girl they claimed I was connected to goes missing?
Please, man, can you back off the conspiracy theories for just one goddamn minute? Sometimes a coincidence is just a coincidence, okay?
There are no coincidences with TARN in this town. TARN is everything here, man. TARN is Archangel. Give it enough time, and the cops are going to find something that ties both of us to Madison's disappearance.
Okay, so let's just say hypothetically, I agree that's the next step. What do we do?
We need to get in touch with Dave.
Wait. What's he got to do with any of this?
He's the one who called me when the sheriff was here. Apparently he found something at work he wants to tell us about.
What could possibly be so important that he wants to talk now?
He wouldn't give me specifics, only that it's pertinent to what happened to Thomas.
Oh, Jesus, so dramatic. Oh, fine. Let's go see this guy. But I guess we need to make sure we bring our tinfoil hats.
Audio file number 2.4. Transcript of second interview of Dave Young by Brandon Jones and Sean O'Connor. October 13th, 2019. Undisclosed location, Township of Archangel, Washington State.
And we're recording.
No, I don't want you using any electronic devices.
Okay. How are we supposed to do this then?
Dave, you have to understand that we need this for the podcast. That's the whole point in us coming here.
No cell phones, nothing that can connect to the internet, no network connections.
No problem. None at all. See? This is just a recorder. It doesn't hook up to the internet. Here's my phone. It's off. Okay? Sean, turn yours off too.
Don't you think this is a little dramatic?
Dude, just do it.
Jesus Christ. This is nuts.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't use that kind of language.
Is this guy serious, Brandon?
Sean, stop being a jerk. Just turn off your phone.
There, see? It's off. Happy?
Thank you. Now, Dave, are we good? Can I keep recording?
Yeah, it's fine.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm here with Dave Young and Sean O'Connor to discuss some information that Dave has for us. Whenever you're ready, Dave.
I don't know where to start. This is all so insane.
Maybe just start with how you learned about this new information.
Well, I work with computers, keeping up network servers. I do a lot of basic troubleshooting for the PCs used around the labs.
The last time we spoke, you said you'd been at TARN for 12-ish years. Have you always had the same job?
Until a week ago, yes.
What's the new job?
I'm working in the Special Projects Department.
You told us before that you didn't know anything about special projects.
I didn't. Not then. This is a new assignment for me.
Can you tell us, from your perspective, why it's called Special Projects?
It's a section of TARN that develops highly classified military equipment.
Weapons?
I can't really talk about the whole department.
Can't or won't?
Both, I guess. I don't know, it's complicated.
Then you need to uncomplicate it, Dave.
Dave, I think what Brandon's trying to say is that we need to be able to provide some context to the information you're providing.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just, I have spent my entire adult life keeping secrets for the military. So talking to you guys isn't really sitting well. In fact, I'm sorry guys, I can't do this.
You've got to be kidding me.
I just don't think this is a good idea.
Look, Dave, Brandon and I were both Army intelligence, so we understand where you're coming from. We also know that sometimes there are things we're told to stay quiet about, even though we know they're wrong. I'm guessing whatever's on your mind is one of those things. Talk to us, Dave.
We're fucking wasting our time.
Can you please watch your language?
Are you kidding me right now? Are you really sitting here clutching your pearls in my shop while TARN is out there ruining people with no accountability? I thought you were supposed to be Mr. Moral Majority.
Brandon, come on, just do what he asks.
No, I won't do as he asks. We came here for information, and this guy is just dicking us around. Meanwhile, the sheriff is looking to nail our asses to the wall.
What are you talking about?
Oh, it's nothing about you, Dave.
It's not nothing. The sheriff said some girl just went missing. She thinks that Sean and I have something to do with it.
There's another kid missing? Oh, no, oh my gosh. It's happening, they're actually doing it!
Whoa. What do you mean they? Who are they? What are they doing?
It's something that I saw during my orientation to special projects. Something big. I think it might have something to do with that Thomas kid. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it meant anything, but now if there's another one missing, it can't be a coincidence.
Okay, alright, just back up 1 second. Why do you think the disappearances have anything to do with TARN?
I only know some of the basic details. I'm not involved in any of the actual project development.
If you're not directly involved in the project, then how do you know any of it? Classified material is always kept compartmentalized so that no one has the whole picture.
Because I'm the system administrator. I have surface access to all the parts.
Ah, so you're saying that you went snooping around.
I couldn't help it. Not after what I saw.
What did you see? What's on the network?
Honestly, half of it I didn't even really understand. Something about gene manipulation, transhuman, or post-human experimentation, turning people into something or other, something they can twist and weaponize.
I still don't understand what this has to do with the kids.
There was something that I saw in the documents, something about acquiring adolescent subjects from local population centers. It can't be a coincidence that this girl went missing so soon after Thomas Novak.
You're serious? Those were the words you saw?
Yes, I'm sure. Gosh, I wish I wasn't.
No offense, but the word of a low-level employee doesn't mean shit unless there's proof to back it up.
Actually, I have this.
A flash drive?
That's right.
What's on it?
All the documents I could find about the project.
I thought you weren't directly involved in the project development.
I told you, I'm a systems administrator. I have access to everything.
Why are you doing this?
I don't understand. I thought you wanted information like this.
I do, but that doesn't explain why you're willing to hand it over. The last time we spoke, you were less than willing to talk about TARN at all. Now you're handing over internal documents like it's your job.
Look, you both know that I'm a believer in God.
What does that have to do with this?
The Lord didn't intend for human beings to do this to each other. It's unnatural. It's godless.
We parted ways with Dave not long after the interview. He was eager to leave, which I understood, seeing as he'd probably shattered 1,000 corporate non-disclosure agreements just by being in the same room with us in the recording equipment. Plus, if even half the things he told us were true, then TARN wasn't just another ruthless defense contractor who disappeared protesters when it suited them. They were a goddamn powerhouse of evil.
Here at TARN Defense Industries, we understand that the prospect of a global viral pandemic can leave you feeling uncertain about the future for you and your loved ones. That's why our team of chemical and biodefense experts are working around the clock to create new ways to make the world a safer place for your family. We're more than a company, we're your neighbors.
We are TARN.
Audio file number 2.6. Transcript of Brandon Jones and Sean O'Connor. October 21st, 2019. Double Dog Diner, Township of Archangel, Washington State.
Is it recording yet?
If you're asking if I push the universally agreed upon big red button that means record, then yes, we're recording, Brandon.
Do you have to constantly be a smartass?
Is that an actual question?
Okay. We're here in a booth at the Double Dog Diner in Archangel. It's a bit before 2100 hours.
9 o'clock.
Huh?
You said 2100 hours, but you should say 9 o'clock.
Why does that matter?
Because unless your target demographic are survivalists who use military time, then you should use the same time system as the entire North American continent.
Christ on a crutch. Fine. It's 9 o'clock. We're in the Double Dog Diner near the high school.
Good evening, fellas.
Hey there, Penny. How are you?
Fair to Midland, but I keep a sunny disposition about me.
That's great to hear. Brandon's about the same, minus the sunny disposition.
You've got to keep it on the sunny side, Brandon.
That's what people keep telling me. Some bizarre nod to solar religion, I'm sure.
So, okay then. Can I get you fellas something?
I'll just have water, please.
Anything to eat?
No, water is fine. Thank you.
For you?
I'll take a Diet Coke and a basket of fries, please.
Fries and a Diet Coke. Anything else?
Yeah, my friend will have the same.
I'm not getting anything.
Did you start watching your figure and not telling me? Just eat some fries, man. Fries and sodas for the both of us. All in one check, please.
Got it. I'll have them out to you in about 10 minutes.
You didn't have to buy me food.
I don't need you getting hangry when we have work to do. Just take the fries and shut up.
Well, thanks. I guess.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we're about to open the flash drive that Dave gave us.
I still don't understand why we needed to wait until we were recording to see what's on that thing.
If there's something surprising or shocking on this flash drive, then I want our feelings to seem genuine. One of the strong points of this podcast is in its authenticity, which you can't get if we record what we think we sound like when we're surprised. Plus, I think my apartment in the shop could be compromised, and I didn't want to take a chance of someone listening in on our conversations if we find something big on here.
I don't know how much of your friend's story I believe, but I have to admit, the more I learn about TARN, the more I'm starting to think it doesn't matter where we are in this town. They probably have the entire fucking place bugged.
That's maybe the most intelligent thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, it's a low bar. Let's see what fresh hell we've gotten ourselves into, shall we?
Okay, inserting the flash drive in now. Double-clicking the file icon.
You don't have to narrate every step you take.
Everyone who isn't the main producer and researcher of this podcast, go ahead and shut it right now.
Nice. Real nice.
Okay, so the file is thinking about opening, but it seems to be taking... Whoa.
What is it?
There's just one file in here.
Only one? It's a little lighter than I expected.
Agreed. Dave made it sound as though there was more here.
Can you open it?
It's a PDF, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Jesus, can you please stop narrating every single thing?
I can't. I really can't. So, PDF is open, and it is a multiple-page document.
Multiple is in how many?
Maybe 50? I don't know for sure, though. These all looked scanned, and some of them have pieces torn out of them.
So, what do they say?
I'm reading. Wow.
Dude, do we have to sit in a booth? I'm coming to sit next to you.
No way, dude. Men don't sit next to each other in a booth.
They do when they're reviewing stolen documents from a multinational defense contractor, so push the hell over. Okay, so what does it say?
I'm reading. Jesus. There is some shit in here.
This isn't the time to stop your obsessive narration, Brandon.
Right. Sorry. Well, looks like Dave was right about TARN. Look at the name of the project.
Project Selkie? Selkie? What's that supposed to mean?
A Selkie's a mythological creature, kind of like a seal, that can remove its skin and become human.
Of course you know that.
Check out the experimentation notes here.
Are those supposed to be gills on that guy's neck?
I think the document scan is kind of shit, so the picture is all blurry.
Here, let me scroll down a bit. See if there's something more.
Wait a second.
Dude, there wasn't even a picture on there.
Not the picture. This.
I'm not seeing anything that seems like it matters.
The name. Right there.
Ray Abramov? Holy shit. Do you think that's the same Ray your journalist friend Jesse told us about?
It's gotta be. This proves that he's been a major player at TARN all along.
Well, not exactly. And for all we know, his involvement in TARN could be a recent development.
Jesus Christ, are you serious? It's right there in front of you, dude. The guy's name is in the middle of a top secret document.
Hey, I'm just telling you that from a legal perspective, we don't have evidence that he's been involved in anything at TARN aside from this project. We need more evidence to prove it. Hey, are you listening?
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a text from Aaron. He's got the contact information for Ray.
You gotta be shitting me.
Nope. Ray Abramov, 1213 Old Military Road, Archangel. Looks like he has a business address in Spokane too, man.
Aaron came through. I can barely believe it. So, what's our next play?
I searched his name and work address. It looks like he's got a speaking engagement at the Whitworth University School of Economics in Spokane tomorrow to discuss a book he's releasing.
Dude, we need to be there so we can try and question him.
What about the sheriff?
What about her?
You heard her. She told us to stay in town.
Yeah, that was before I saw this. For now, I say screw her.
Finally, you're saying something that makes sense. It was late by the time we finished in the diner, so we decided to catch some sleep first before heading out. I couldn't sleep, of course, my thoughts still bouncing between the documents from Dave and the reasons for Madison's disappearance. My mind kept returning to the scream we'd heard in the woods. Had it sounded female? God, I'd hope not. The plan for tomorrow was simple. We'd listen to Ray's presentation, then wait until people began clearing out from the scene to question him. The documents from Dave, coupled with what we'd learned from Jesse, had left me certain that Ray was sure to know something about Thomas Novak, and by extension, my sister. I was eager to get to Ray despite Sean's insistence that we needed to play it cool if we wanted any real answers from him. Looking back on it now, I should have listened to Sean.
Next time on the TARN conspiracy.
That sounds a lot like human sacrifice.
What is human sacrifice but offering one thing of value in exchange for another?
You guys don't know us, but if you could tell us anything, it could help us find Madison.
We don't know anything.
I heard that Madison went out to the woods the other night.
Michaela!
What? It's not like it matters. She's gone. No one's going to find her.
You fellas lost?
No, sir. Just here for the meeting.
Tonight's gathering is for full brothers and associates only.
We're from the Spokane chapter. We heard about the meeting tonight and thought we'd come check it out.
Stop or I'll fire!
Dude, holy shit, they're shooting at us!